Affordable vehicles and affordable transportation are terms you don't often hear anymore outside of consumers demanding it. The average transaction price for a brand new car to start off 2026 comes in at $50,000. With Americans preferring crossovers, sedans that are typically more affordable are becoming an endangered species. Now, even though Americans do prefer their larger vehicles, there's still a lot of people out there that want cars. They want sedans. They want that connected feel to the roadways. And Nissan might just have the solution for you here with the 2026 and 9th generation Nissan Sentra. In today's video, we're going to check out what the SR has to offer us. This is going to be the sportier trim, as you can tell, with the aggressive exterior appearance. But more importantly, it comes in below $30,000. What do you get for under $30,000 in 2026 with a Nissan Sentra? Well, let's find out. Before we get in this video, I want to give a huge shout and thank you to Nissan of Merrimack Valley here in Chelmsford, Massachusetts for letting come down here to check out the new Nissan Sentra. Their link will be in the description below so you can check out their extensive Nissan inventory. So as always, let's begin with that pricing. For the 2026 Nissan Sentra SR, you're looking at a starting cost at a very even $25,000. But that's before taxes and fees and destination charges, which will push the price tag to about $27,500 for the model we're taking a look at today. Now, you can go with optional packages and features giving you a power moonroof and some great creature comforts and amenities for the interior, but that will give you a price tag at or above 30 grand. Either way here, with the Sentra SR, you're going to have a premium and also a fun experience here on your weekday commutes. As we take a look at the exterior, one thing that does stand out to me about the SR more specifically is that it kind of looks like some rivals in this class, like the Hyundai Elantra, maybe even the Elantra N, and also a bit like the Kia K4 or K5. So you can tell what Nissan's trying to do here, who they're targeting at this price point and in this class. Also with the Sentra, and I love to see it, is that it has a unique style. So it doesn't look like a sedan version of a Nissan Kicks. A lot of that is because this car is underpinned by a separate platform and chassis, giving you some rigidity, some refinement, and also more importantly, a sportier nature here with this being an SR. You're also going to notice LED taillights. That's just one of the cool exterior features for this model. As you make your way up front, you're going to receive full LED headlights here. LED daytime running lights and LED turn signal indicators. But for me, it's the front fascia as a whole that I really like out of this particular trim, most because you have the gloss black trim up front and gloss black grille. If you have seen the S and even to some degree the SV, the accents extend into the lower portion of the front bumper, kind of looking like eyelashes, whereas it blends right in with the SR. So no tacky look to this particular sedan we have today. Also the SR badge as well, reminding you this is going to be the sportier trim for 2026. Also, you have smoother body lines too, so very upscale and also, I think, modern too. Now, as you make your way over to the side profile, here we have 18-inch alloy wheels and a gloss black finish. A lot of gloss black trim for this sedan, and I like the fact that we have this white paint color giving us a Stormtrooper spec for this model. With the 18-inch alloy wheels, road noise isn't going to be egregious, but you are going to notice that compared to lower trims in the lineup. So you might want to go with an SV if you want a car that feels a bit more quieter on the roadways and also a bit softer too when you're going over the bumps and imperfections. You have gloss black side mirror caps with turn signal indicators. I'm a bit surprised by that for a car coming in at around $25,000. Also blind spot detection for added safety, and you do have some gloss black trim along the side profile as well, giving you some definition to this sedan. Now, as you make your way around to the back, as we talked about before, with those LED taillights, I like the fact that it extends into the trunk itself. Really nice design there. Also, a gloss black deck lid spoiler, and even better, you have the gloss black rear diffuser and a visible exhaust outlet. This is one good-looking sedan that I'm just begging for Nissan to give us a Nismo version. They're never going to, but I'd love to see that moving forward. But as you can tell though, especially for the rear fascia, this really does look like an Elantra N. So this is going to give you that sportier experience, that sportier design you want to see out of this product line. And I think at least design-wise, Nissan nailed it. Also, one thing I want to point out too is that you have the sloping roof line. So Nissan is going to give you a sportier look to this car overall. But let me know in the comment section below what you think about the Nissan Sentra SR. Is this a winner when it comes to its exterior appearance? Powering the Nissan Sentra for 2026 is going to be a 2-liter 4-cylinder engine, producing 149 horsepower and 146 pound-feet of torque. It is paired with the CVT, and front-wheel drive is your only drivetrain option here. So your typical small sedan under $30,000. Now on paper, these numbers are not really that impressive, are they? But with Nissan, and for the Sentra more specifically, this is supposed to be an economical daily driver, even though with the SR badge you might think, all right, I can have some fun on my weekday commutes. It's still all about the affordability, the fuel efficiency, and what you're going to receive for a car under 30 grand. A lot of the development is for the interior and the technology, whereas the powertrain, I would like to see a Turbo 4 make its way into this car in the future, like a Nismo badge or something along those lines. Also, even though we don't have a Turbo 4, you have a good amount of low-end to mid-range torque, so you'll be able to pass over drivers with ease on the highway, and more importantly, merge onto highways very safely. When you're taking a look at fuel economy, you're looking at right around 29 miles per gallon in the city and 36 miles per gallon on the highway, which is pretty good here for a car that's not a hybrid or has any type of electrification. So if you are looking to extend your dollar just a bit more here, and you want a sedan that is fun when it comes to its handling, but also you want a car that's going to be fuel efficient, you have that here with the Nissan Sentra. And before we hop inside this Nissan Sentra, you're also going to have remote start here with the SR. This is not the only trim with remote start, by the way. You can get this on the SV2. Hopping inside the Nissan Sentra SR we have today, we're going to be greeted by manually adjustable premium cloth seats for both the driver and passenger. Now, unfortunately, since we don't have optional packages equipped on this model, we don't have heated front seats. That would be a great feature to have on a cold day like today, but we'll talk about that in a minute. When it pertains to these seats, though, with the premium cloth upholstery, they do feel really nice. Also, with this being an SR, a good amount of bolstering and support as well. So when you are on those winding back roads, you're going to be nice and snug. And also, even when you are commuting to work, these seats are not going to be stiff. They're not going to give you any type of discomfort on those longer drives. So a huge plus here for Nissan. In front of you is going to be this very beefy and leather-wrapped steering wheel. It feels really nice in the hands. Probably one of the first impressions that you're going to have here for the interior of this car. You have orange contrasting stitching, which matches the contrasting stitching on the dashboard, on the door panels, on the seats, on the center console, and then of course the SR badge for the exterior, giving you a sportier vibe. But probably more noteworthy is that on the steering wheel will be physical buttons that helps you control the digital gauge cluster in front of you. This is the first new Nissan product I have seen this in, because a lot of the Nissan vehicles have haptic feedback buttons, which I know a lot of you do complain about. Now, with this digital gauge cluster, it is actually really in depth here for a car coming in below $30,000. In my mind, maybe embarrasses some rivals here at around $25,000 to begin here with the SR trim. More importantly, though, is the fact that it is going to be the same technology that you will find out of a Nissan Rogue, out of a Nissan Pathfinder, and Murano. So Nissan isn't cutting corners here, and you have a number of different displays here that you can customize, you can go through and showcase information that is relevant to you, such as your MPGs, your tire pressure monitoring. Also, you can access your safety systems as well, and there will be a settings menu so you can customize this vehicle to your liking. And this is just stuff that you typically wouldn't find in this class. So a huge plus here for the Nissan Sentra for the 9th generation. Then as you make your way over to the infotainment system, you're going to have a 12.3-inch touchscreen with wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto compatibility. We also have a wireless phone charging pad with the SR, and there will be 2 USB-C inputs as well if you want to hardwire your phone into this vehicle. Now, this is not going to be the same Google integration that we have seen on higher models in the product line, but still same tech that we found out of a Nissan Kicks and Nissan Rogue. On the left side of the screen will be quick access icons for your home screen, your music, your Bluetooth, and then also your App Connect as well. So from here, you'll have all your apps for Nissan Connect services. You'll also have My Q Garage, user profile, interior lighting. It is all right here. Probably more importantly will be your all settings. icon, so you can really dive into this vehicle if you so desire. But I do like the fact that it actually is pretty simple to work with. So if you're not technologically advanced, you should find yourself right at home here with a Nissan Sentra for 2026, even though it's a bit more tech focused than the outgoing generation. When you do place the Nissan Sentra in reverse, you are going to receive a rear backup camera with trajectory. That's a bit of a surprise here for a car coming in under $30,000. That way, a better visibility when you are backing out of tight spots or parking on a city street. Continuing on beneath the head unit, you will find more physical buttons for your volume and tuning and your hazards. Beneath that will be haptic feedback icons for your climate control settings, your front and rear defrosters, also your fan speed as well. Unfortunately, though, there still is a dedicated climate menu on the head unit for everything, such as your AC and your fan direction. Now, later on, like we're going to be talking about, you can go with heated front seats and a heated steering wheel, giving you some more feature comforts and amenities here to this car. For the center console itself, here we have those two USB-C inputs once again, 12-volt outlet, wireless phone charging pad, your start-stop button, and then you have a traditional gear shifter. I know, great to see in 2026. I was almost taken aback by it. You have two cup holders and then more physical buttons for your drive mode selector. So with the SR, you will have Sport, Standard, and Eco. I actually like Sport here out of this car. You have electronic parking brake, auto vehicle hold, your auto start stop. Then for the standard storage compartment, it's actually pretty deep here. You could probably store a 17-ounce water bottle. That's pretty impressive. So if you have some smaller tech gadgets or some items, you can store them in there very easily. That's actually really nice for a small car in this class. Now, above, you're not going to have a power moonroof on this particular model, but it is available, and that leads me into the optional packages for the 2026 Nissan Sentra SR. Beginning with the most desirable package and also the more affordable option here for the SR is going to be the cold weather package, giving you heated front seats, a heated steering wheel, dual zone automatic climate control, and remote engine start with intelligent climate control. Really nice. For $650, definitely worth the price of admission. Now, the next package, though, this is where you can go back and forth because this is going to push you over $30,000, and that is the premium package for $2,300. This will give you leatherette seats with contrasting stitching, Pro Pilot Assist, HD Intelligent Around View Monitor, so that's going to give you more camera systems to work with. The Bose Premium Audio System, so an 8-speaker audio system, really nice, amplifying audio of your favorite music. Rear automatic braking, rear sonar system, auto-dimming rear view mirror, the HomeLink Universal Garage Door Opener, a power driver seat with power lumbar support, and illuminated vanity mirrors. Now, at $2,300, is that worth it? Maybe, maybe not. But you got to remember here, with the Nissan Sentra, it's all about its affordability and being under $30,000. With those two packages, you're probably spending $31,000 or $32,000. So definitely keep that in mind. Now for passengers in the second row, they're going to receive a respectable 35 inches of legroom, which would be right in line with a Mazda 3, Toyota Corolla, Honda Civic, Kia K4. Pretty much everyone in this class. Now, for those of you looking for a bigger sedan, the Altima would be the better choice because this is not going to be comparable to a Toyota Camry or Honda Accord. But you can grow up with your family in this car, which is very important. Obviously, with the lower roofline, tall passengers will be hitting their head on the headliner. But again, if you need that interior space and you also want that practicality, go with a Nissan Kicks. It won't be much different than what we have here with a Nissan Sentra when it comes to the interior features and even the fit and finish as well. Now, what I do like, though, is that even though you do have an aggressive center hump, I think you can try squeezing in a third person in the center. That is huge here for a small car like this. Now, obviously, since you're not going to have leatherette trim seats for this car, the cloth upholstery does feel really nice, even for the second row, and there's some grip here. So when your driver is on a winding back road, you should not be swinging around too much here, so that's going to be really nice. Now, unfortunately for the second row, there is no center-mounted air vents, but there is one USB-C outlet. And best of all here, with the SR, you are going to receive a center armrest with two cup holders. Returning to the rear fascia to take a look at the cargo area for the 2026 Nissan Sentra. Obviously, you're not going to receive a power trunk. That would be a huge surprise for a car coming in below $30,000. but you are going to find, again, a respectable amount of interior space here. You're looking at right on 14.3 cubic feet of room, which is actually a bit better than some sedans that are a bit larger at this price point. So if you need that practicality, but you don't want a crossover, 14.3 cubic feet of room should be more than enough for those weekday commutes, maybe even a bit of a longer road trip, a weekend getaway with a significant other or a couple of family members. I was able to fit all my camera gear today with no issues. That's 2 bags of camera gear and a gimbal box, and I do think that if you are going on that road trip, you could probably store 8 or 9 bags of luggage. So really nice to see. And for our model, we have netting installed as well, so that will keep your valuable items in place. And lastly, you can lower the second row seats to maximize cargo space, but just remember here that at $25,000, you could go with a Nissan Kicks that can give you all-wheel drive and 30 cubic feet of cargo room. Setting off in the 2026 Nissan Sentra SR, and the first impressions here out of this sedan that comes in below $30,000 is, I want more power. 149 horsepower, 146 pound-feet of torque, and a CVT does not do this car justice. What Nissan has done with this platform and chassis, which isn't the same platform and chassis as the Nissan Kicks, is that they've given their entry point into the lineup, if you don't want to buy a crossover, a lot of rigidity and refinement. And the mechanical components that makes up the performance of this car, in some ways, sets it back a bit. You know, in about 5 minutes of driving this car around, I'm demanding a Nismo version. Like, I want a turbocharged 4-cylinder engine and a 6-speed manual, or the 9-speed automatic out of the Nissan Z, and give us a real, truly authentic sports sedan at around $35,000 that could go head-to-head with a Hyundai Elantra N. Out of the SR, for a sedan coming in under $30,000, you are receiving an athletic and agile sedan that is polar opposite of the Toyota Corolla at this price point. With the Corolla, it's a point A to point B vehicle, but out of the Sentra, and more specifically this trim, I feel like I'm receiving a lot more here. Yes, you can go with the optional packages and bump that price tag above 30 grand, but just take a look at the driving environment that we have here. I mean, I love this steering wheel. Aggressive 10-2 and firm 9-3 grips. Feels really nice in the hands. Again, provides a premium experience. The full digital gauge cluster, nice infotainment system, also physical buttons back on the steering wheel. Nissan really thought this product out very well, and you see that with its design, with its mannerisms, with its performance, and its fit and finish. And I'm really impressed here out of Nissan right now. They have put a lot of emphasis on their more affordable models with that Nissan Kicks, with the Nissan Sentra, and I could see them making great strides here in this class. This is far and away better than what we have out of the Toyota Corolla for sure. Now, of course, I still think the Honda Civic is going to be the benchmark in this class, but Nissan has a competitor that is getting very close up there with the best in this class. This is a huge improvement over last generation. It's punchy off the line. The only downside here is this CVT, which I do think drones quite a bit, and there's some rubber band effect, which is why, as a car enthusiast, I kind of want to see a Nismo with like a 9-speed auto or 6-speed manual, because there's so much potential here out of this sedan, and I'm genuinely surprised that Nissan went this far for an entry point into the lineup. I kind of see why, for a short period of time, they were considering moving on from the Altima, because you kind of have everything you want here out of this sedan. It's affordable, it's fuel efficient, and I also think, compared to a lot of small cars in this class, it's enjoyable to drive as well. In some ways, it kind of reminds me of a Mazda 3. When it comes to overall vision and seat positioning here, nice panoramic view. A-pillars are somewhat aggressive, so when you are approaching intersections or red lights, there might be some blind spots there. Taking a look at your side mirrors, they are decently sized. I can see what's my blind spots and the lane next to me. Looking out back, obviously, with this being a sedan, nice clear view. Now, with the seats, because you do have some options out of the SR, I like the cloth upholstery. I actually think the cloth upholstery fits this model very well. Now, sure, you can go with a more premium feel for the interior, but I don't think it's necessary. I really don't. If you want to save some money, you don't want to spend over $30,000 at $27,500 for our model, I think you're getting a pretty good deal here. Now let's get on the highway. I'm really curious to see if 149 horsepower and 146 pound-feet of torque is enough here out of a car in this class. But I'm going to be honest. In the corners, when you're entering highways or on a winding back road, it's intoxicating. It really is intoxicating. Oh, plenty of power. Plenty of power. At highway speeds, road noise is what you would expect here out of a car in this class. You're going to be hearing that from the wheels. You're going to be hearing that with the lack of interior insulation. But for an economical daily driver, I think you're getting a lot more than you're bargaining for here. Has nice composure on the roadways, and it's the stiffness and rigidity of this platform that I'm really, really liking here. As the old saying goes, you get what you pay for. But for a sedan in 2026, I think you're receiving a lot more for the price tag here compared to some rivals. Because a lot of the rivals in this class, including the Honda Civic, you have to get it to around $30,000 to get anything that feels upscale, that feels refined, that feels really nice. With the Sentra, and I'll have to check out the SV and S at a later date, with the SR coming in at like $25,500, what a bargain this is. So all in all, after this quick test drive and spending some time with the Nissan Sentra today, I think Nissan has a winner on their hands. There's a lot of positivity on the more affordable side of the product line with the Kicks, with the Sentra. And I do believe now Nissan has a couple of products that can give Honda, Toyota, and Mazda a run for their money. And I hope to see Nissan going a bit further here with their products, because there's a lot more this platform, this sedan, can give us. And it's just a matter of time if Nissan believes that as well with this vehicle. But when you take a look at the exterior, the interior, fit and finish, the features and packages available, this is one heck of a product here to start off 2026. And really, I don't know if you need to go with the SR. Maybe an SV is going to be more than enough for you. But still, in 2026, to have a car coming in below $30,000 that feels this nice, that also feels this well put together, this is a huge plus for Nissan moving forward. So guys, let me know what you think about the 2026 Nissan Sentra SR, or just the Sentra in general. Is this a winner for Nissan? Also, for those of you who are taking notes at home, the Nissan Sentra for 2026 will be up for Car of the Year nominations in its class. So we might not see the end of the Sentra this year on the channel. Guys, once again, thanks so much for watching. Take care, and I will see you guys next time.